Back to the capital, and the adventure in the Ghana Premier League continues here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Accra had to folk home. This time they play host to Basake Holy Stars. You know that match day 25 actually started on Friday, and one game has already been cleared. Others were also played yesterday with vision or in action. The weather here very conducive for association football, 29 degrees Celsius, and the players are already warming up and bringing themselves for this big one. My name is Mutala Yakubu. This is the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and Onya TV. As I always tell you, the Ghana Premier League is huge on social media. You need to follow our pages so you don't miss a thing. On Instagram, all you need to do is search for Ghana League _. Then on X, it is Ghana League. YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat. You can get us on Ghana Premier League. Facebook, where we've been streaming the game live too. Just search for Ghana Premier League. My name again is Mutala Yakubu. Being joined by Coach Ebenezer Sefa. Back to the capital, back to this base, Heart of Folk in action. But before that, on Friday, there was a game at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. One of the best games I've seen this year in the Ghana Premier League. And Emmanuel Ano announced himself back to the crowd at the venue.
Wonderful goal by Emmanuel Ano. And I think that was the first win for Nations over Basake United since they joined the Ghana Premier League. And for me, it was a very good game. I really enjoyed the game, and I think that I have to give thumbs up to Frimpong Manson, the way he mapped up that strategy in the first 45 minutes, made sure Basake will not play. I mean, placing Ivan Safo on Augustine Okra. For me, he's one of the players that you need to look at, you need to watch. He always scan the opponent's spaces and make sure that when the ball comes to him, he does what he do with the ball. But unfortunately for him, Ivan Safo was tough on him, and of course, I mean, Brandon Sapon and of course Emmanuel Ano were able to punish them. I mean, to talk of Joseph Ifa, wonderful player, and I think that they deserve that 3 goals that they scored.
Of course. Now, talking about the goals they scored, you've always talked about the quality of Ano, and it was shown again with that brilliant strike from him.
Yes, I believe that if it had been Antoine Semenyo who has scored that goal, the whole week Ghana will not hear. Of course, because we need to give credit to the boys. They are doing so well. It was a well calculated, and the strike, what the precision and the angle that he took the ball. And for me, he's one of the players. 9 goals to his credit. We need to applaud him. He's done so well. I mean, so we need to promote these players, make sure that we tell the world what they are doing in the Ghana Premier League.
Now 1-0, I mean, Basake were very much in the game until that dying embers in the first half where the Nations got that second goal. It was like a sucker punch, and Kobna Misa admitted that that was the goal that killed their confidence. This one,
of course, it was a loss of concentration from the back line of Basake United. I mean, you don't allow Brandon Asante to just go through. He's a difficult player to handle unless you bring him down. But the moment he went into the penalty area, they have no option than to allow him. But I think that the defenders caught ball watching, and the ball was just strike into the net. For me, it was a bad defending for Basake United.
And now, if you're talking about bad defending, then you clearly criticize goalkeeper Kwesi Esiedu for that 3rd goal that Basake conceded. He was in no man's land, and I think this could go down as one of the easiest goals that Richard Danso has ever scored in the Ghana Premier League.
No, you give credit to Richard Danso. You see, we talk of luck in football, and this is one of the lacks that you talk about. If Richard Danso has stopped on his way towards the ball, thinking that the goalkeeper and the defender were going to pick the ball, he wouldn't have had the ball. But because there was miscommunication between the defender and the goalkeeper, he persuaded. So that was the lack that we talk about in football. And he had opportunity by just tapping the ball into the empty net. Credit to Richard Danso. If he had stopped, I don't think that Frimpong Manson would have forgiven him, because he still had opportunity and the goalkeeper failed to communicate with his defender. So you blame the goalkeeper and the defender.
Of course, and that is how things ended at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex last Friday, with Nations winning the game by 3 goals to 0 against Basake United. You're still watching the Ghana Premier League on TV3. We take a quick breather. When we return, I give you the full fixtures for today in the Ghana Premier League. Welcome back from that break. We here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium for match day 25 of the Ghana Premier League. And today it's Heartofok who are back home and are playing Basake Holy Stars. Heartofok have some 6 points between themselves and league leaders Mediama, and a win today will mean that the phobians close at that gap. For Basake Holy Stars, they are trying to peel away from the relegation zone, and a win will do them a lot of good. My name again is Mutala Yakubu. I'm here with Coach Ebenezer Sifa. But let's go through the fixtures, the games coming up, because we know that the Asante Kotoko are making a trip to the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium to play Karela. League leaders Mediama are also in action, but 2 games have already been played in match day 25. We know that Nations beat Bechem United by 3-0, with Vision also defeating Brekum Chelsea by 3-1, and Samatex do goalless with Dreams FC. Heartofok in a few minutes time will be playing Basake Holy Stars here. Adriana will be taking on 11 Wonders other than Najma Bedu Park. There's Karela against Asante Kotoko at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium. Young Apostles, they will be at home as they host BBN Gold Stars, with the Mediama, the league leaders, also playing Hohoya at the TNA Stadium. Then Heart of Lions at Pando will take on Sweden All Black. So these are the games coming up today in match day 25, and it will all kick off simultaneously at 3 p.m. But as you know, Mediama taking top seed with 46 points. Heartofok today, if they win, they close the gap to 3 points. They are third on the table with 40 points. Gold Stars, they are going to go Young Apostles, and they also need to win to keep the chase on Mediama, who are playing at home. Asante Kotoko fourth, they also make a trip to the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium. That is the top half of the table. Let's look at the other half of the table, where Basake Holy Stars are 10th and are pushing to enter the top half, with Dreams FC and the likes of 11 Wonders firmly at the bottom of the table. So it's getting interesting in the Ghana Premier League. Coach, let's get to the game that is before us. Heartofok, Basake Holy Stars. For Heartofok, unfortunately for them, the last 3 games that they've played here have all ended in a draw. Today they need to change that.
Of course, they need to change that. I mean, their fans are not happy about they drawing 3 games here at the stadium. But I believe that Heartofok themselves have what it takes to carry all the 3 points today. I mean, if you had watched the game against Gold Stars, you realize that from the defense to midfield were fantastic. Just they have some issues up front. And for me, Basake is yet to win away game from AK Stadium. And you remember the Dreams FC game here against Heartofok. Heartofok drew with Dreams FC. Before then, Dreams have not won a game away from home. Brekum Chelsea has not won a game away from home, but they were able to pick up points here. So Heartofok should be very wary about what Basake is bringing on board. But I think Heartofok is a strong side today. Of
course. Now, talking about Basake Holy Stars themselves, it's a team that if you underrate, they could hit you with that lightning speed of Prince Chenebua. How do Heartofok stop him today?
Well, you see, Didi Dramani spoke about Prince Chenebua and also Francis Jetua. These are 2 guys who operate from the flanks. And Didi Dramani said he needs to find an antidote to make sure that he stops those 2 players from operating. Fortunately for Basake, they have the experienced Issa Yakubu, who played under Didi Dramani in Kotoko. That is 2012-2013 season. So he's one of the experienced players you can have in the Ghana Premier League. A very solid player. And of course, Sylvester Simba, who played for Dreams FC before joining Basake. So they have actually experienced players in midfield and very good and fastest players from the flanks. So Heartofok needs to make sure that they block them. Unfortunately, Heartofok is not playing Abdul Karim today, and then George Paco has stepped in. So in terms of creativity, Heartofok are going to struggle a bit in midfield. But at the end of the day, we are still going to see Heartofok attack led by Hamza Issa, who is going to push the defense of Basake Holy Stars. But I think Heartofok is a strong side today.
A lot of quality in both 11s, and we'll be seeing that on the pitch today. But the coaches are here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. We've spoken to them. For Didi Dramani, the aim is to get back to winning ways after losing their last game to BBN Gold Stars. And for Basake Holy Stars, they want to pick up their first away win this season here at the UG Stadium. Coach, it's match day 25. You are coming up against Basake Holy Stars. By your previous game, you lost against BBN Gold Stars. How important is it to bounce back to winning ways?
I think that is very important to respond in a positive way, especially to see how the best approaches and in terms of outcomes will improve the team bonding and then the team hold up, especially with the position on the league ladder. Very important to really learn how to bounce back in such situations.
Your last 3 home games have all ended in a draw. What has been the conversation throughout the week to ensure that it doesn't happen here again?
I think that the most important thing is doing the right things rightly, and then using the the times and then occupation of space. These moments are the key aspects of the game, that the times you have and the space you have, what do you do with it? And I think that it's an area that we have been very, very concerned about, and the players know about this and we also know about it, but we are very positive that we will turn things around in a very positive way.
Now you are coming up against a team that is also within the relegation conversation. What kind of game are you envisaging from them?
I think that you should expect that they will try to hold up and play on the transitions. Many of the teams we have played have been like this, and we need to learn from these aspects and then to still stick to our aspects of fluidity of our play. Try to get into the wide areas and then center in and be more aggressive, be more purposeful, and take key decisions in key moments of the game where we have to get into some good spaces of the pitch and then we are able to make decisive moves. For me, when I speak with my players, my emphasis is on these key moments of the game, that we will definitely will have these moments, but the decisions we make in this moment is what will give us the outcomes and then give us the best results.
Coach, thanks very much and good luck to you.
Pleasure.
Coach, it's match day 25. Hearts of Oak have not won any of their last 3 games here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. What kind of game are you expecting this afternoon?
Okay. We are expecting a nice game because Hearts of Oak will force to win this match. But we are not thinking of them. We are thinking of ourselves.
Now, in your lineup, I've seen Prince Trineboa. He's one of the best players currently in the Ghana Premier League. How important is he to your setup?
It's very, very important because always his performance goes up, and as I'm here, as I'm with them, I usually teach him how to do, what to do, where to do it. So he's coming up.
Now, with about just 9 games to end the season, you want to escape relegation. How important will 3 points be this afternoon for you?
It will be very, very important to us. So we will work out to win these 3 matches.
Wish you the very best, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Now, last season, Basake Holy Stars approached this game with a lot of confidence where they defeated Hearts of Oak 1-0 at the Accra Sports Stadium. But this season, Hearts of Oak have already gotten that revenge as they went all the way to the Western region to defeat them by 2-1 and would want to continue. Both teams have named a very strong starting lineup for Hearts of Oak. Benjamin Asare is in post for them with Ali Mohammed, Kelvin Osasibe, Mawuli Wayo with Martin Kakari, Manu Amankwa back into the lineup, Rasford Mensah, David Opon Frane with Hamza Issa, Kweku Boateng Henry, and George Paku.
Yeah, the only replacement is George Paku coming in for Abdul Karim, who had a knockout training. But I believe it's a strong squad that Hearts of Oak is presenting. Of course, I mean, Osesibe and then Ali Mohammed, the 2 good pairs in the Ghana Premier League at the moment. Benjamin Asari, of course. I mean, Emmanuel Amankwa is back after the suspension. And, of course, Rafael Mensah on the left side. So, in midfield, Opon Frane is going to play as a pivot. And, of course, George Paku and, of course, the rest of the players are going to do the job. But I foresee Basake Holy Stars trying to push Hearts of Oak early stages of the game from the Prince Trineboas and of course Francis Jetua. And these are guys that Hearts of Oak needs to watch them within the first 15 minutes of the game. If they're able to tame them, then I'm sure that Hearts of Oak should be able to go. I mean, but Gazeli was the coach at Basake, so he knows the team very well. And of course, Johnson Smith has been somebody who has been doing very well at home, but away they are struggling. Let's see what happens because their last visit here was a disaster.
For Johnson Smith, he's also going with Dubi Kasi Tai in post for Basake, with Moses Arthur being the captain in today's game. Francis Jetua is in the Patrick Okran. Prince Trineboa, the danger man for Basake Holy Stars. Issa Yakubu, one of the most experienced players we have in the Ghana Premier League, is starting. Kwesen Gideon with Jacob Wazi also in the Emmanuel Kwame, Francis Asante, and Simba Sylvester. Issa Yakubu, very experienced, somewhere 2012, 2013. Yes. He was played for Asante Kotoko with Masud Didi Dramani, the head coach of us.
He came from
being his head coach.
Liberty Professional. So it tells you the kind of rich experience that he has. And playing the midfield of Basake Holy Stars, he's a very tough customer. And Sylvester Simba is one player who also, when he has a very good day, he can also surprise you with that kind of long strikes that he has. And I'm saying that their strength is from their flanks. Francis Jetua on the right and then Prince Trineboa on the left. So Rafael Mensah and then Emmanuel Amankwa have a lot of work to do. But as Didi said earlier on, he has to find an antidote to those players, and of course, I'm sure he's done that. We are yet to see, but it's surely going to be a Milford battle. But Hasselhoff have a chance of probably going forward, carrying out the 3 points.
I mean, with the World Cup inching closer, Benjamin Asari himself has said that every game he plays now is like a justify, because he needs to prove to Ghanaians that he's good enough to be in the post for the Black
Remember,
Stars.
I told you the other day that look, the game against Gold Stars is, for me, is going to be his best test in the Ghana Premier League, and of course, we also saw what happened. He needs to redeem himself here so that balls do not go into his net. He's a very good goalkeeper, but I had expected Solomon Agbashi should be imposed today, because of course I want Hasselhoff to give him an opportunity to also have more playing time. But I'm not part of the Hasselhoff technical team, so let's respect what they've done today by bringing in Benjamin Asari, the captain for the side.
So this is how the Phobias made their way to the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. On the bench for them, they have the likes of Solomon Agbasi, Raphael Mponsa, Theophilus Collinson is in there, Frank Abura Duku, Steven Apia Asari, Sefas Osabute, Enoke Subonte, Yaman Kwabefi, and Gideon Kujo. But one of the most, skillful wingers for Hasselhoff is Kweku Boateng Henry. These days, he's been given a lot of chance by Coach Didi Dramani.
I think it is good for Hasselhoff. He scored his first goal for Hasselhoff against Bibini Gold Stars. The first time I watched him was against Adriana Indoma when he came from the bench. So I was, wow, you have this player on your bench. But I've noticed one thing about him. He's a very creator. He's very good with the ball, commit defenders with the ball. But anytime he cuts in with the ball, he doesn't shoot. So I wasn't surprised he was placed at a vital position where he was able to score from that spot when he had his chance. I believe that he do same. His confidence should come up. He's a very good player, but the defense man of Basake Stars should be very watchful. He commits the defenders with the ball. He's very skillful. He has got the pace to also outwit them. He's a very good player, and I think Hasselhoff are lucky to have him.
George Paco, there you see Jesse has a place in the team together with the ever reliable Osei Asibe at the back for them. The Hasselhoff defense, one of the best, if not the best, currently in the Ghana Premier League. They've conceded less goals than any other team.
9 goals out of 24 games. I think they've done very well. And I spoke about Osei. I think that the partnership with Ali Mohammed has really improved for Osei. And I'm happy the way they are playing. I mean, they don't just kick, they move, and you see how they build. It tells you that Didi Dramani has done yeoman's job on Hasselhoff defense. We used to talk about Hasselhoff goalkeeping department, and today they don't have issues with their goalkeeping department. They don't have issues with their back line. Their midfield is solid. The only problem is that who is going to put the ball at the back of the net. But I've said that it's not only strikers that score goals. So let's see what happens today.
Now, talking about not only strikers who score goals, where do you stand on that debate where people are criticizing Hasselhoff for being a quote-unquote a set-piece team these days?
No, every team have its strength. Hasselhoff is doing very well with their set pieces, and they are scoring. You go to Europe, you talk of Arsenal, Liverpool were doing the same, Man City did the same, and they were jubilating. So of course, it is good for coaches and players to improvise. So if Hasselhoff is scoring from the set pieces, it is a good hallmark of the good coach, and of course, the players being tactically disciplined.
Now you can have, enough experience, or you can't call for enough experience without talking about Simba Sylvester. Dream Sepsi, he's seen it all, played in the CAF Confederation Cup. Today he plays for Basake Stars. He'll be one weapon that Johnson Smith will be relying on.
Of course, when you have players that have got experience, played in the national team, they've come to when it comes to the league, they have experience with that. And of course, he's been here the last time to play 11 wonders, so he knows the nature of the pitch. He used to play here with Dreams FC. He knows the nature of the pitch. Hasselhoff, I'm sure they know what to do. And of course, if they allow him, he's going to mesmerize their midfield. He's one player they can also look at, in as much that they'll be looking at the right players from the flanks, Cheneboa and then Jetua.
With the race, almost over, about 9 games to end the season, Hasselhoff cannot allow room for errors. There's no margin for errors in this game.
Oh no, I believe that
because I'm looking at Mediema playing home against Hoko United, and they are very confident of winning that one.
Hasselhoff is going game after game, and I believe that this is one of the games that they have to win, and they win. It pushes them, For them, they are going match after game because that is what Didi Dramani said, and I believe that that's the right thing they are doing, match after match. So today, I'm sure they are concentrating on Basake Stars. Mediema is doing his own. Gold Stars is also doing the same. I think that we need to respect what Hasselhoff is doing. They go after match after match.
Of course. Would you be surprised if Basake grab a point here, knowing that Hasselhoff have drawn a lot of games at this venue?
I'll be surprised. But at the end of the day, if Hasselhoff has known that Prince Cheneboa, Jetua are key, and they allow them, I'll be surprised they allow them to be able to punish them.
Well, big one. Let's see what happens. The players are already in the tunnel and want to come out and do battle. It's hard to folk against Basake Holy Stars in match day 25 of the Ghana Premier League. I hand you over to our team of commentators, Nana Dakwa Jesse and Calvin Owusu, as I enjoy the first 45 minutes.
A Sunday special in the Ghana Premier League. We're live from the University of Ghana Stadium here in Legon. And it's Hatsabok who are up against Basake Holy Stars, a team in very distressed situation without winning here in their last 3 games. They're coming into this game from a 2-1 defeat in BBNE. It's quite scotchy this afternoon here in Legon, but Holy Stars will believe that after getting those maximum points against Hearts of Lions, they could be on their way back to their base with a point. Remember, they beat Hearts of Oak 1-0 in last season's Premier League at the Accra Sports Stadium. Familiar faces showing up against each other this afternoon here in Legon. The Phobians have stepped up in their rainbow colors as usual here at the University of Ghana Stadium. Good afternoon, Kelvin.
Good afternoon, and it's going to be a brilliant afternoon of football. Hard to football. They quickly have to resolve whatever differences they had that resulted in their loss last season, and especially after that defeat to BBN Goals. Basake Holy Stars have picked up the pieces from last season. This time they are found in the middle of the Ghana Premier League table, and Johnson Smith, who has salvaged their season, would want to keep up with some exciting results, but they haven't been lucky at this venue. The last time they played here, they were well beaten by their opponents, 11 wins.
Basake Holy Stars turned up here in green jerseys over black shorts, black stockings to match. And, you know, they arrived at the stadium in style wearing the traditional Ghanaian fugu to showcase the rich Ghanaian culture, and it was a delight to watch when they stepped up here at the University of Ghana Stadium from their bus.
It was wonderful to see them celebrating the heritage of Ghana. And you know, that smoke signifies not just the tradition of Ghana, but also something greater. Warlords coming for war.
Accra Azabok have made 2 changes to the team that lost to Holy Stars last weekend. Asari maintains his place. Befi is out for Emmanuel Amankwa. Mensah, Ali and Esibe complete the back 4 with Paku coming in to replace Abdul Karim. There's Afrani and Kakari completing a 3-man midfield, and Henry Boateng, who is celebrating his birthday today, is starting after he got a nod last week in BBNE. Hamza Issa and Mauli Wayo make up Hazabok's attack this afternoon.
A very strong lineup. This is a squad that you can always trust. Goalkeeper Benjamin Asari, the safest pair of hands. Ali Mohammed and Sibe have a number of issues they quickly need to resolve with complacency, and I'm sure Didi Dramani knows what the team is about. Mauli Wayo obviously will be the team's back up front with George Bakwe, Kweku Boateng.
Masoud Didi Dramani has been the coach with the best defense in the Premier League, but obviously you certainly can't be happy if you're not scoring many goals.
Well, that is certainly his trademark. He knows exactly what he's able to, but he's questioned the difficulty in scoring, making sure the final third of the pitch is very much effective as the defense, but that cannot be blamed on him. He hasn't had the opportunity to even make changes by getting in players.
Gabriel Opokohin is the center man today. He's assisted by George Awinzigate and also Badiana Al-Hassan Halilu. Abdul Latif Adari is our fourth referee. That's the lineup for Basake Elite Stars. Dubi Kasi Tai is in pose. At left back is Emmanuel Kwame. In central defense is Moses Arte and Jacob Boazi with Francis Asante. On the right side of defense, Francis Otinjetua is combining in a midfield alongside Issa Yakubu, Kweisin, and also Cheneboa with Simba and Okra playing up front.
Well, Okran and Simba will be looking forward to be fed with the passes from Cheneboa from the extreme wide areas. In central defense, the captain of the team is expected to keep them watertight.
And Johnson Smith has made just 2 changes to the team that beat Hazebuk last week. Opoko is out for Kweisin, and then Patrick Okran is in for Osei-Bone. So he's trying to keep up with some consistency following that massive win last weekend against Heart of Lions.
And that is clearly what he's about. He doesn't normally change his winning team, and a team that gives him confidence of, dignifying his training methods, and exactly why he's kept faith in these gentlemen. Well, during the warm-up, you could clearly see him still shouting out instructions to the boys, knowing that the magnitude of this game stands taller than everything that they have done this season.
All is set and we are good to go here at the University of Ghana Stadium, and Gabriel Opokohin signals the two teams into action with the Holy Stars getting us underway here in Lagos. It's Hattabok versus Basake Holy Stars.
It's probably going to be an interesting game to look forward to. Hattabok have to pick up the pieces. They've struggled to win most of their games at home. If you're a team that wants to win the league, you cannot be dropping so many points at home.
Here's Cheneboa, the danger man. Issa Yakubu. Kwame, Simba, good header back by Amankwa. Afrani returns it. Flag goes up. Decision against Holy Stars.
Oh, Gold Stars will have to test the Hatterfolk defense again. Holy Stars know that last weekend the Phobians in Bibiani had quite a difficult time. They would want to replicate what last season's champions did.
Hats have a throw in first of the afternoon for the Rainbow Lads. Amankwa got a red card against Asante Kotoko. Returns to the lineup after some impressive outings this season. Here he comes, Amankwa. Sends the one looking for Hamza. Here is Hamza. Can he score the opening goal? He drifted wide, and Hamza not the best of options from the Hazebuk front.
It was quite surprising. He decided to take that extra touch. Would have hit it the first time he made that control, but he took the ball further away from the direct target. That gave him limited space to hit that ball. He pushed himself against the angle. There was no way he was going to score from that end, allowing the centre back, right back Francis Asante, to cover up quickly and make that block. He should be doing better.
Here is Kwame. Issa Yakubu. Good ball. Here is Okran, but his ball cleared away by Benjamin Asari. He had to be quick in that reaction, Asari.
Intelligent goalkeeping there from Asari, not keeping onto his line. Just staying inside the goalkeepers, the penalty area, to make sure that he clears and sweeps away any danger from him. I think Okra wasn't expecting that delivery from Issa Yakubu.
Here is Kelvin Esibe. Ali Mohammed. Formed a very formidable partnership in central defense alongside Esibe. Reason Afrani has been deployed in that midfield position where he has clearly distinguished himself so well. Arthur's header. Here is Kakari for Hattabok. Here's Amankwa now. Checks on to Paku. Paku has a chance to cross. He swings in a decent cross. Wayo with a chance. He's fluffed it. Hattabok still pushing. Holy Stars will clear their lines.
Concentration from Aoliwayo was a bit poor there. It wasn't anticipated that delivery was coming to him. But once you are inside the penalty area, you need to stay on alert for every delivery.
Hamza's flagged offside from the long pass by Ali. Hamza straying offside even before the ball was floated in. Quaison is bitten to it by Mensah. Henry Watson finds Wayo, checks back for Mensah. Now Afrani, brilliant play. He goes around Simba with cheeky ease, but Holy Stars will retrieve possession. Here is Cheneboa. Simba. It's a lovely pass onto the path of Kwame. Kwame crossed the ball in, but Esibe steps up for Hadzabok. Miscommunication between Esibe and Afrani, but they are able to get the ball safely.
Very good recovery from both players, but I think there's something wrong with Patrick Okran's cleats. It seems to be slipping and finding it difficult to keep his gravity, making turning quite difficult for him. And I think the coach is watching, should quickly attend to him. It's not going to help him.
Mensah. Wayo. He's been Hadzabok's best attacker this season, although he's also been that player with most of the missed opportunities from the games the Phobians have played. Afrani in Wonderland with that pass.
The intent was clear, but he failed to look at the surroundings and check the position of Ransford Mensah. Good Meridian run from Mensah. Is expecting a better pass to make a more distant delivery.
The handball against Okran.
I think Okran seems to be struggling still, but Basake Holy Stars trying to keep that momentum and space. There's a lot for them to do, trying to question the Hatfield defense, but that rhythm seems to be affected by Okran's positioning and his inability to really keep ground.
Boazi sends a long one in. Ali heads it down for Afrani. Here is Kelvin Osesibe. Ali. Henry Watson unable to control, but Wayo will step up for the Phobians, trying to find Hamza, but Kwame will take over. Here is Moses Arta. Now Jacob Boazi. Francis Asante to Quaison. There's a push on Quaison by Mensah. Free kick, Holy Stars.
Holy Stars are on first by Hatfield. They're taking all the time in the world to slowly build up from defense, not in a rush to hit the ball high up the pitch. They know how to have very good players aerially and wouldn't want to throw away possession to them easily, reason why they're carefully building from their defense, and that is a trademark of Johnson Smith. The difficulty is the uneven nature of the pitch, making it difficult after every bounce.
Paku, not a good pass from the midfielder. Boazi keeps it in. Francis Asante. Issa Yakubu. He's aiming at Cheneboa. Good touch now. Simba for Holy Stars. He's fouled by Amankwa right before Pokwain, who whistles for a free kick advantage. Holy Stars.
Very intelligent play there from Cheneboa, finding Simba. Two brilliant players. Basake will be looking forward to them, creating lots. That was clearly a foul.
Asante's cross headed back in, but flag had already gone up because the ball had crossed the line as a goal kick.
That was quite a teasing delivery, looking for Cheneboa down the left-hand side. Tried his best to keep that ball in line before crossing. Look at that delivery. Brilliant there from Asante. Chinebua did his best. He wasn't too far from keeping it. Just narrowly. Might have had lots of his body outside the playing territory.
To Ali. Mongwan trying to get to Wayo, who's up against Asante. Mensah. Ali. Manko will love to search forward. He's got Kakari on his right. He picks out Kakari. Back to Amankwa. Ali calls for it. Back for Isibe. The passing is very positive. Paku's cross away by Dubi for a throw into the Phobians.
Clever goalkeeping there from Dubi Tai. Not willing to take any risks by trying to grab the ball. Punching it away to safety, and that was a powerful punch away. Had to gradually warming themselves into the game.
The possessive play is impressive, and they're still hanging on, pushing for the opener. Good play from Mensah, swings in across, header by Kakari, and Wayo still can't find the back of the net.
Martin Kakari from that position should be aiming for the target instead of trying to get the ball back on the edge of the goalkeeper's area. Brilliant play there from Ransford Mensah. Clever touch, the twist. Look at that left-footed delivery. Martin Kakari should be aiming for the target. It's quite unfortunate he decided to head the ball back to Hamza Issa, who had Wazi and Arthur to beat in there. There was no way Wayo was going to find a proper connection from that end.
Asante. Now Quaison. Quaison with a drive, he takes a deflection and Asari collects it coolly. It's 10 minutes at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. It's Hatzabok nil, Basake Oli Stars nil.
It looks to be an even game now, not too much of a rush from both teams. Meticulously trying to get themselves into the game and get each other worn out. There have been moments of impressive display from both teams. Not working the goalkeeper so much.
Mawali Wayo for Hatzabok. Chance for the Phobians. He's going to pull for a handball. Pokain says no, get on. Sylvester Simba will break away for Holy Stars. Chinebua stays onside. Goes for a drive, is blocked by Afrani. By Isibe instead, then here is Paku. Wayo to Boateng. Ball is cleared away by Arthur for a Hazabo corner.
Impressive play there from Arthur for expecting Martin Kakari with his skill set, with the space to take the ball a bit more into the final third before making that pass. That was a good decision there from Arthur, not taking any chances, blasted the ball away. It's an opportunity for Arthur to bring the centre forward, the centre backs who are aerially threatening for the set piece.
Paku to take. Amankwa. Mensah, Paku. It's up up against Quaison. Paku not on the same page with Opoan Frane. Isaiah Kubu. Simba. Boazi to Ata. Asante now. Afane to Ali.
Look at the shape of Holy Stars. They've just decided to sit back and watch out to folk, bring the game to them. They know that offensively the Phobians are not that much threatening. Decided to just stay within their shells.
Played in the same manner and frustrated Mediama to a draw. Tai picks it up for Holy Stars. Mensah. Watson to Kakari. Here's Martin Kakari twisted and turning. Mensah, Afrane, Wayo decides not to make an attempt because he could have obviously been flagged offside.
It was quite a poor one there. Position to get that pass quickly into the left-hand side. Again, Martin Kakari unfortunately there, but Opoan Frane should have taken his time to read his surroundings. Had to folk without Hussein, and Abdul Karim have lots of work to do with regards to the creative ability in that midfield. George Paku and Kakari have lots and lots to deliver, including Kwakubuati Henry.
You're thinking there was an earlier push on Hamza, but Pokain decided to let go. Hamza decided to retaliate and foul is gone against him. Quaison checks onto Cheneboa, but too much weight on that ball as he rolls out for a Phobian throw.
That was quite an intelligent play there from Quaison, but it was overhit, that pass. Sure, I was thinking I have one of the fastest players in the league. I don't send him on an errand, but this errand, there was no way he was going to get onto it.
Kwame Simba. He's played up to the point of the semi-finals in the Confederations Cup. He's got so much up his sleeve, Sylvester Simba.
And he was one of the important figures in that team, the particular moment. Strong on the ball, fearless.
He was one of the main men at Dreams. He came as a surprise when he left the club for Holy Stars. Isaiah Kubu with a poor drive. Now Paku has got a chance to break away. Hamza is up against Boazi, who finds Tai. Moses Ata, Jacob Boazi. They play so much confidence from the back in their own territory. Jetia, that's brilliant play from Holy Stars. Quaison decides to take the initiative all by himself. Here is Quaison. Now Cheneboa. Isaiah Kubu has got space. Tries to get to Simba, but Esibe steps up for the Phobians.
Quite unfortunately, pass there, poor control from Sylvester Simba. Not sure was expecting that pass.
Mensah picks out Wayo, who goes down. It's a corner and not a foul for Hearts of Oak. Good defending from Holy Stars.
A brilliant pass there from Mensah. Right through the channel. It was quite dangerous. Very good defensive work there from Boise, making sure he had a touch onto that ball. If it was just a touch from Wayo, that would have resulted in a penalty.
These are the young Phobians.
They had to tell the GFA, you have catch them young referee policy. I have catch them young fans policy.
Absolutely. Paku goes low to Boateng. He picks out Kakari. Now Afrani. He shoots. It's a low drive that goes straight to Tai.
That was quite an easy catch, and we welcome these every single time. But that was a good try from Afrani. Might need some more power behind that ball.
Hasselhoff gifted possession in a dangerous area, but Hamza quickly hands that gift back to Holy Stars. Should have taken advantage of that, Hamza. There's a push on Amankwa by Sylvester Simba. It's a foul for Hearts of Oak.
That was quite a needless push there from Sylvester Simba. Well, that was too much of a heavy pass, and it was snowy. Manuel Amankwa was going to allow him progress. One loose stretch with two hands, and it lands onto an opponent. The referee would have no other choice than to give a foul, especially in those 50-50 ball situations.
Kakari. It's a foul for the Phobians on 20 minutes at the University of Ghana Stadium against Holy Stars.
It's quite a very heavy challenge coming in there from Boise. He knew exactly. Mano Kwame went in with that lunge. Got a bit of the ball, but also got a bit of his man. It wasn't going to be allowed to just go scot-free. Good position for Artefok to try find the opener.
And as a young star, Henry Boateng to take. He bends one to the near post. That was close. It's a goal kick. Hasselhoff had one to the corner.
That was quite a dangerous one there. Clever and intelligent going near post. All he wanted was a decent connection to the ball. This Hamza Isa near post. We expected him to have a better connection to that ball, but he missed his target, Mati Kakari.
Here is Kakari in the middle to run spot Mensah. Amankwa to Kakari. Too casual for Martin Kakari. Should be doing better. Now Hasselhoff has got some defending to do, but Holy Stars quickly hand possession to the Phobians again.
That was a poor pass there from Chuneboa. Sylvester Simba wanting a better delivery. You can say acknowledging that from him, but good steal from Patrick Okran. He hasn't really given so much up front, but defensively and keeping the team balanced in midfield, he's added up to the numbers.
Here is Amankwa. It's a pass meant for Kakari. He returns, but he doesn't get it. It's Holy Star, Sylvester Simba, Issa Yakubu. He can't get to Okran. Amankwa stops it and finds Kakari. Upon Frane. Boateng. There's a foul against Moses Arthur for that push on Henry Boateng.
That was too ragged from the captain. He should know better. Too much force, too much aggression. I think it was quite needless, especially with the attackers face, back to his own area. There's no need going in ragged. A number of players surrounded him. Just giving a free kick away in a very good position. With any good strike, they could find the opener.
As the Phobian tertiary, they've also turned up in their numbers, hoping for the first home win in 4 games for the Phobians.
They're very much needed, and they're quite close to the young generation of the Heart of Folk supporters. And that is exactly what you need. You can pick up some very good chants from them as well as the tradition continues.
Esibe and his centre-back partner shows interest in this free kick. Esibe, Ali, back to Ali from Esibe. Was some good connection between these two.
I think there should have been a better drive there from Ali. He was always rising, suspecting some power, a drive instead of going with the inside of his foot for a Keller. He can beat Tai from that angle.
Opokwine whistles for a cooling break. It's 25 minutes in Legon, and it's Hearts 0, Holy Stars 0. Time for cooling break.
Well, it's been quite a balanced game. I'm sure Didi Dramani, judging from the left corner of our screen, wasn't clearly happy with a few things in the central midfield.
Black Stars goalkeeper's trainer Fatau Dauda checking on his phone. He's been ever present at this venue when the Premier League is on. He's closer, lives at East Legon, so just a few minutes drive and he's here. I'm sure his eyes will be on Benjamin Asari and how he performs between now and when the call-ups come for those international friendlies against Austria and Germany.
Exactly, he cannot keep his eyes off him. But they have a duty to make sure that he's up to standard, he's up to top quality level in the next 3 months when the Mundial begins. And Fatau has never been close to the league. He keeps monitoring, he keeps being at the centers. It's quite refreshing to see him every now and then taking his time to just make sure he's at these venues to watch the game. You can see an opportunity for the two technical benches to quickly reorient their players on what to do. You can see Didi Dramani very much animated there. And you can hear him, he's talking about the press.
Yes, he says the way we say we press, we're not pressing the same way.
Exactly. But different personnel, like I said, without Hussein, without Abdul Karim, expected to have bits of liability because the players who are filled into those positions, George Bako, Henry Kwekubuati, Martin Kakari, are not cast in the same profile.
That's right.
And shape with the technical quality and abilities of these two players you're missing. And I think Basake Holy Stars have also done a decent job making sure they don't allow the Phobians to have ample time on the ball to do what they want.
Back from the cooling break. Here's Esibe to Afrane. Too much on that one for Mauliwayo.
Quite wasteful there from Mauliwayo. Expecting to find himself just at the edge of the line to pick up that pass. The fans will continue to sing, waiting for the opener. There's been a little bit of lethargy in the build-up for Heart of Folk. They need to fast-pace their passes.
The foul throw against Francis Asante. Quite surprising there.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed in himself. He should do quite better.
Quaison, Asante, Okran, poor touch, throwing hearts. Maholiwayo for Hartsobok. He comes up against Moses Arta. Mensah's effort controlled well by Hamza, but he's caught in between three Holy Stars players. Holy Stars have a player down. Looks like it is Quaison. But Hartsobok will attack and look for the opening goal. They wouldn't mind now. Paku, chance for Kakari. Kakari shoots and it's a good save by Tai. Good positioning.
That was quite intelligent play there from Martin Kakari. Tai nearly thought Kakari was going for the top right corner of his goal post. Decided to go near post and nearly slipped away from him. He hit it hard and low. Right on target, but instinctive play from the goalkeeper to make sure that ball was not going to evade him into the net. You can see Holy Stars making the complaint, but that wasn't a head injury. The referee had every right to allow the face-off play end.
Asante's aiming at Okran, who has beaten Ali to it. He steps up Sylvester Simba. Now Quaison. Great play from Quaison, goes down just outside the box, and Holy Stars have a free kick in a dangerous area.
Very brilliant play there from Quaison. He's intelligent, he's strong. His skill set. There was no way Ransford was going to allow him to get past three players. That would have been suicidal for the Phobians if Quaison had gotten into the penalty area.
He's come up with some decent performances this season in key games. He was exceptional against his former team Mediama in Takwa, and he was unplayable when they faced Asante Kotoko the Babayara. Such a good player.
Very smart, very skillful. Just needs to be a little bit more productive in the final third of the pitch. He'll be good to go. Good position.
30 minutes. Free kick for Holy Stars. Isa Yakubu is behind it. Same for Quaison. Isa steps back for Quaison. He drives one, and Asari makes a very instinctive save. Good reaction from the Hartsobok goalkeeper.
That was smart. That was clever. That typifies Ghana's number one. Ball had evaded him, nearly getting past him, but he made.
Simba's delivery again is straight to Asari.
Strong arms from the goalkeeper once again. True brilliant save in the space of about 30 seconds. Look at that drive that came in from Quaison. It just bounced right in front of him and it was changing his trajectory. But smart thinking, using his lower limbs.
You gotta be on top of your game to come up with saves like this, and he's gotten it exceptionally well. Benjamin Asari, he keeps making the headlines week in, week out.
That is the mark of a very good goalkeeper, taking advantage of the ability to use both sets of limbs to make changes in the game, and that is equal to scoring a goal.
It's fair to say Hartsobok have got one of the best defensive setups in the Premier League, but that's all down to the organizational ability and quality that Asari brings on board. Free kick Hartsobok. Paku is behind it. Kakari leaves it for Paku. Paku bends one in. Ali's arriving, heads the ball down. Henry Boateng's effort, and it goes over the bar. Goal kick.
I think that was quite the training ground routine, which couldn't come off effectively as smooth as they were expected. George Paku, Martin Kakari. Look at that delivery, but I think credit to Moses Arthur, the captain, for clearing that ball. Would have landed easily on Ali Muhammad's head. And you trust Ali to get just one on target.
Holy Stars have been mentioned in the conversation of teams that might just not survive the Premier League. They're on 32 points now from 24 games, 9 wins for them, 5 draws, and 10 defeats. They currently occupy the 10th position of the log. 21 goals scored and 29 conceded. They had the best of defenses this season. Okran. Watson gives away possession. Jetua's drive and it's gone out for a goal kick.
That was ambitious there from Jetua. After winning that ball in a very good position. Simba Okran as well as Trinibare running as well as grazing to very good position. They expected him to feed them with the ball. You shouldn't forget a goalkeeper who is very difficult to beat. Isn't the goalpost driving from these distances? Will take you one miraculous moment to get the ball past him. You need to be as simple as you can.
Iron whistles. Flag had already gone up against the Phobians.
Maoli Wayo once again finding himself in an offside position. It was quite too quick. I respect these passes from SCB and Ali Mohammed. You need to make sure you're always onside.
Quaison is fouled. Free kick. Maoli Wayo with a tackle on Quaison. Kwame, Isa, Simba, Cheneboa, Paku intercepts for the Phobians. ACB will pick out Henry Boateng, who goes back to Ali. Good play from Hazabok's centre backs, ACB and Ali. Great composure and calmness on their part. Upon Frane. Headed down by Arthur. Now Jetua, Simba. There's some great show of strength there by Jetua, but there's a foul in the end against Jetua for that stamp on Paku. He gets a yellow card for that tackle.
That was irresponsible there from Jetua. Should have easily released that ball quickly to Issei Yakubu. He got himself in trouble. Nobody will allow you to go scot-free with that. Once the stats show you don't have anything or little on the ball and more of the man.
He left so much on for Paku. First player to be shown the yellow card this afternoon, Francis Jetua.
He's put himself in some bit of trouble. Issei Yakubu is not a player with enough steam to be going combative.
Ali delivers, collected by Tai.
I think credit to Moses Arthur. He's actually matching the Phobians aerially, giving them little opportunity to latch onto those deliveries from set pieces.
Kelvin Esibe sends a long one in aiming at Hamza, but again, is that aerial command by Arthur that keeps the Phobians at bay. Mensah, Ali, Boateng. Good run from Boateng. He's got Wayo on the left. He finds Wayo. Flag goes up. Wayo is offside.
So once again, intelligent play coming in. Henry Boateng laying that pass cleanly. Once again, well, he's one of the fast players, quick players. Quite surprised he's taking 2 steps earlier than the pass being delivered. So the fans are still waiting for the opener and it's not coming. It's quite a very tactical, balanced game. Didi Dramani, Johnson Smith in those exchanges.
It's been Ghazali on the touchlines throughout because he knows this Holy Stars team so well. Knows where they can hit the Phobians.
A lot of this team is his handiwork. Most of the players, he knows them.
Absolutely. Ali Tuwayo. SCB has lost it to Okran. Here is Sylvester Simba. He's lost it to ACB. He's gone down. Opokwine has whistled for Simba to be attended to.
So that was right. A heavy touch there from Simba. But his quality and ability, expect him to keep the ball closer to his feet. He found himself a very difficult tackle, and you know SCB, strong. He's never going to allow him to have a field day. Seems to have had some stats left on him. That was the too heavy attack. That was the SCB having a bit of the ball and a bit of the man in that process.
Five more minutes before the break, and Johnson Smith, with that stern look on his face, will be happy they've not conceded. There's been talk about why he's not getting playing time, but you don't get more playing time when you're competing with the Black Stars #1, Agbasi.
Exactly. You're competing with one of the best in the country. You can have it all rosy. He needs to quickly find a way to have some more playing time for himself.
Hamza Isa Afrani with a ball to Kakari, but there's a poor effort from Kakari.
Don is weaker foot. I wasn't expecting him to go on target. Just had a quick and fast, stronger ball shot across the face of goal. Because at the far end, Mauliwaye was just waiting for that low cross to tap him.
Quaison hands possession to Paku. Wayo to Hamza. Fouled by Atta, free kick Kadzavok.
And Atta should be careful, get himself entangled in some useless challenges. Snowy's just lunging there, lucky to have escaped the wrath of the referee.
The Phobians have wasted the resultant free kick from that foul on Hamza Isa. It's a goal kick to Holy Stars. A lot of thinking for Didi Dramani to do, especially with no wins in 3 home games played over the last couple of weeks.
Definitely knows that there is a bit of difficulty.
Heavy pass from Tai.
Well, it is quite terrible, wasteful there.
Kwame, quick transition. Here is Okran. He's up against Osei Sibe. He's got a strength and desire to go forward, but Sibe won't come cheap. Hazelwalk will take possession. Miscommunication between Sibe and Paku. He's come up worse, Kelvin Sibe.
Look at that there, Okran realizing that there was no way he was going to get on that. He went in with an outstretched arm and push. Sibe has just clutched onto his shoulder. Hopefully it's not a dislocation. Let's see, a bit of pain in there from the push right there on the Sibe's shoulder from Okran. See him screaming in pain. He might be lucky just a few more minutes to the end of the first half. Can have better. Medical. So as you can see, Didi Dramani heavily animated there. He's not getting it as he wants. For this team of assistants, they quickly need to think about something more efficient before the second half resumes.
SB seems to have suffered a shoulder injury. Looking on the bench, the only player who might slot into play in central defense might be Gordon Kujo. Kakari. Watson can't handle the ball. Sylvester Simba's effort is stopped by Amankwa. Good news for the Phobians. Sebe is back on the pitch.
It was quite interesting how hard to have dealt with the threat of Prince Chonebua, not giving him lots of space to operate. They virtually cut all services to him.
Sebe back on. Amankwa's effort failed from that throw. Confirmation of additional time. We're doing 2 minutes. Sebe. Now Aliwayo cuts in. Afrani switches back to Mensah on the left. Mensah swings in across. Paku flicks it. Amankwa with a drive and is taking a deflection for a corner. Decent effort from Amankwa.
It was quite a very good play there from Atufo Ransford Mentor once again. The left hand side, it was a hanging delivery. But very good lead there from George Paco to win that header. And the scrap fell right to Emmanuel Amankwa. Decent volley from him. But once again, Moses Arthur preventing him.
Watson's corner. Afrani takes it back. Here is Mensah's drive. It's blocked by his own player. And there's a foul against Azabok.
It's a good steal there by Sylvester Simba. Very smart. Nice job by the Phobians once again, working through the set pieces. Very good delivery. Unfortunately, couldn't find his intended target. Also the drive there from Ransford Mentor, quite unlucky. Also coming off the body of Wazir.
Opokwahin whistles to wrap up the first half here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. A game that hasn't produced clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, but it will be the visitors who will be more excited going into the break. They've not conceded against a team that do not score more goals as well. Half-time at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon is Hartsobok nil, Holy Stars nil, with the Phobians having 4 shots, all 4 on target, 2 on target for Holy Stars, and they bossed the game in terms of possession, which has been very obvious because it's been Hartsobok throughout. Holy Stars coming in with a few flashes, 3 corner kicks, just 1 yellow card after 45 minutes. Half-time. Hartsobok nil, Holy Stars nil.
It's our time here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, and it's goalless between Heart of Folk and Basake Holy Stars. Not much to talk about in the first 45 minutes, but we'll see what happens in the second half. My name is Mutale Akubu. I've been joined by the assistant coach of Heart of Folk, Abdul Ghazali. Coach, first half a bit flat. You didn't create enough chances. What needs to change going into the second half?
I think the first half looked disappointing to us as a technical team, because what we expect our boys to do, they are not doing it, and I think we need to hammer on them to look physical, because they are too slow within the first half. And I think if we are able to put aggressiveness in our second half game, we will try and get a good scoreline, because we need to win this match at all costs.
Which first line of action would you take? A change in tactics or a change in personnel?
I think we have to look at our personnel, because looking at George Paco, I think he's not in the game. We have to take a second look at it and then see how best we can. Either we are going to change him or we are going to change his role. I think where Martin is playing, we can also change Martin's position, putting Henry over there. I think it will look much better, and I believe once we are able to talk to them and then do that kind of changes or interchanging positions, I think it was going to help us to get that.
Well, let's see what happens in the second half. We wish you the very best. Abdul Ghazali is the assistant coach of Heart of Folk. Rashad Musa is also the assistant coach of Basake Holy Stars. I mean, if you pick a point here against Heart, it's a good point. But would you say you would want to be a bit daring in the second half?
Of course, yes. The idea is to keep them goalless in the first half, even though they have majority of the possession, but we have to keep them and then see what happens in the second half.
One of the weapons that you have in your team is Prince Treneboa. He's not been in the game in the first 45 minutes. What kind of talk would you have with him to see that the second half he becomes more involved?
Yeah, we know Treneboa very well, and we know what he's capable of doing. So we need his energy in the second half. So that's the reason we did not see him much in the first half. But in the second half, you definitely see Treneboa coming into the game, possibly giving us a goal.
confident you can win this one.
Confidently we can win this game.
Rashad Musa, assistant coach of Basake Holy Stars, are there, and he has spoken to us, telling us that they would have to do more in the second half to ensure the win. We take a quick breather here on TV3. We'll be right back. Coach Ebenezer will join me for the first half analysis. Soto Atamale Asante Kotoko are currently losing. I'll tell you all about that. My name is Mutala Yakubu. This is the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and Onya TV. Currently goalless between Hearts and Basake Holy Stars. Coach Ebenezer Sefa has joined me. You seem not to be impressed with what you've seen in the first half from both teams.
Of course. I mean, for Basake, of course, you should expect this from them because they've not won a game away from home. But with House of Folk, as we indicated earlier on, the last 3 games here has been drawn. And for House of Folk to play the way they are playing, it is shocking. But I believe that Didi Dramani in the dressing room needs to up and then tell the boys what to do. I mean, up front, they are lacking what I would say, who is to put the ball at the back of the net. I will not even mention Hamza Issa. I mean, you talk of Martin Kakari, I mean, Mauli Wayo, they are all off in the game. But you look at the Sibe and then Ali Mohammed, early stages of the game, I mean, Patrick Okran nearly scored. But I think that Benjamin Asari, 3 brilliant saves from denying Basake Holy Stars from scoring. But House of Folk, they need to work hard, especially in attack. In midfield, I think it's been fair. Simba Issa Yakubu has been able to hold House of Folk upon Fanny and then George Paku. But I think that the attack is what is worrying Accra House of Folk.
Well, still Hearts of Folk would have hopes that they would win this one. But from other venues, the results are in, and there's something special happening at other places. This is what you get when you watch the Ghana Premier League. It's full of surprises. Currently, Hearts of Folk are drawing against Basake Holy Stars. Adriana are also drawing goalless with 11 wonders. Karela are leading Asante Kotoko by a goal to nil, and Asante Kotoko have been shown a red card with Henry Ansu coming off. Young Apostles surprisingly are leading BBN Gold Stars by 2-0 with Media's game against Hoho United blank at the moment, and Lions are also leading All Blacks by a goal to nil. Surprising results coming from Wenchi.
Of course, personally, I wasn't surprised, especially the Kotoko game. Karela, they've just lost 1 game to Samates, and they are a very strong side in their last 3 games. I mean, Young Apostles needs to win this game because their next game they are going all the way to Hoho to play Hoho United. And one out of their 2 games, they've not won a game.
Okay.
So of course, they're leading All Blacks is something that you don't need to be surprised about it.
Now let's get back to this game because that is the focus. What should Hearts of Folk do differently in the second half if they want to win?
Well, I believe that Hamza and his colleagues needs to calm down in the penalty area. They are creating the chances, but they are in the haste to score. And I don't know why they are in the haste to score. They need to calm down. They need to calm their nerves, and they should be able to put the ball at the back of the net. But I think that Basake, Prince Cheneboa is off. And of course, you talk of Gideon Kofi on the right side has also been off. I think that credit goes to Raphael Mensah and of course,
Coach Abdul Ghazali, the assistant coach of Hearts of Folk, says that George Paku has not been in the game, so they will look to change personnel, and he could be the first casualty to come out.
Not only George Paku, I mean, talk of Henry Kwaku, the chap, that young chap also in Milford. They've lost the midfield to Issa Yakubu and then Sylvester Stimba, and that is why House of Folk is struggling. You realize that there's no creativity in the House of Folk midfield, and I said it earlier on, and I think that they need to do something about it.
There's an old adage that says that if it's not broken, you don't fix it. For Basake Holy Stars, a point here would be massive. But do you think if they become a bit daring and throw the kitchen sink at Hearts of Folk, they could get the 3 points?
Of course, I think
because they found themselves in very good positions.
Of course, they are doing that because the House of Folk attack is what is lacking. In Milford, George Paco, we spoke about George Paco, but I think that if Prince Cheneboa will lift up his game, and of course Gideon also lift up his game, then I think that they are going to put House of Folk in a lot of troubles. Remember House of Folk against Dreams, before they drew, Dreams have not won a game away. The same to Brekum Chelsea, and it's happening now. House of Folk needs to up if they really want to win this game.
Of course, they are not creating enough chances from open play, but all the set pieces that have come their way, they've wasted them.
You give credit to Basake Holy Stars defenders, and I think that the captain has done very well. I think because they know how to like the long ball to the last pool for Esibe and then Ali to nod back, and that they've been able to curtail that, and I think that it has really helped them.
Now, there's some form of calmness in the midfield for Basake Holy Stars. Issa Yakubu, he's making his experience shown in this game.
Of course, in the House of Folk midfield, apart from Upon Fanny, as we talk about George Paco is off, And Kwaku Henry is also not lifting up. They are missing the services of Abdul Karim because there's no creativity in the House of Folk in Mefo. That is why Isa Yakubu and Sylvester are doing all the dirty work in Mefo.
Are we going to see a goal before the game?
I foresee a goal in this game, but I don't know where it's coming from.
Well, coach doesn't know where the goal will come from. Hearts of Folk, Basake Holy Stars, as it stands, it's goalless. The players are back onto the pitch, warming up for the second 45 minutes. So I leave you in the hands of our commentators, Nana Dakwa Jesse and Kelvin Osu. As I see you after 90 minutes.
We are back from the break, and it's Hearts of Oak and Holy Stars getting ready to step up in the second department. First down failed to produce goals, not even clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. Hearts of Oak dominating in possession and having more shots on target, but none of them with trouble. Dubi Kasitai. Looking forward to a very competitive second half.
Well, it's very much expected to folk. We need a lot more agency. Creativity needs to be on high. Holy Stars, knowing that they've managed to carve through the midfield of Hearts of Folk in the final third, need to be making the right decisions, and it all builds on Kwesi, Semba and Choneboa together very best. I think this applies to Choneboa. Must improve to give them any realistic chance of testing Benjamin Asari again.
Opukain takes a look at his watch. Now he's whistled for the second half to commence with Kakari stepping up for the Phobians. Here is Kakari. Boateng. Amankwa with a lovely dummy, swings in across. Jetua gets it away as Kwesi loses the ball to Mensah, who sends in a cross, and Henry Boateng miscalculated that header.
It's quite surprised he couldn't understand why he was going for that ball without the right conviction. So that leap from the last defensive man gave him a bit of a worry, and that was from Emmanuel Kwame. That jump clearly putting Henry off there.
Amankwa's effort goes out for a goal kick to Holy Stars. Awkward clearance by Kwame is flicked away by Yakubu. Referee whistles advantage Holy Stars.
Another poor challenge there coming in. David Opoanfrani. Exactly, they shouldn't be giving some of these away, especially the opponent to avoid the need to be testing them a lot more. Could see during the last temporary hold that Gigi Dramani complained about their inability to press as instructed.
Strong challenge on Ali by Okran. Afrani nearly giving the ball away with that poor touch. Sorry, sends one in. Afrani, Ali, Kakari, Paku. He's got space and he's got Henry Boateng on his left. Boateng swings across in. Wayo is lurking. He goes in with a header that flies over the bar.
It was quite a very distant delivery there. Francis Asante nearly had his pocket picked there by Wayo. Unfortunately, ball landing right on top of the head of Wayo instead on his forehead.
Hazabok looking dangerous, but again is the captain of the side. Ata defending so well. Kwame Sylvester Simba.
Brilliant and intelligent, tearing away from his marker. Smart and cunning. So keeps the ball close to him. Juan Frane having difficulties. There was no way he was going to match his pace. Just bundled him down.
Ali's header. Kelvin Esibe. Amankwa simply just can't control, but it looked a good pass from Kelvin Osei. We're not sure they're on the same page.
Too heavy a pass. Amankwa tried his best. It wasn't enough to keep the ball in play. Looks like Hearts of Folk want to go a bit stretchy and expansive the second half, knowing that the decision to go through the middle hasn't been effective.
Thanks to the resoluteness of Issa Yakubu and Jetia, who have played so well in that midfield with occasional help coming from the man who is expected to be leading the attack, Okran. Amankwa's throw-in, flicked on by Hamza Issa, away by Jetia. Ali returns it into the Holy Stars area. Hamza got something on it, but not troubling Holy Stars in any way.
By giving Holy Stars an opportunity to feel at home, to keep calm. That has always been the problem of Hearts of Folk, not being able to punish visitors or ask lots of questions, probe their defensive area when they play at home.
Kwame can't keep hitting. Hearts of Folk have an advantage from the throw. Quite quickly spots Hamza's movement. Hamza is fouled by the Holy Stars captain Arthur, who disagrees with the call of Opokuahen. Opokuahen will have none of that. He's asking him to step away.
It's clearly a foul, and there's no way had to approach to make any complaints at all. Should be wary of Hatterfolk and their threats with these set pieces. Have both men who can just quickly step forward, cause havoc. Phobians would have loved to have Adamu around. Unfortunately, he's out.
Free kick out the box. Henry Kweku Boateng and George Parku steps up. Parku will swan in. Cleared away by Sheneboa. We've not seen so much from him this afternoon. There, top scorer and best player. Boateng. Parku sends in a cross, cleared away by Asante.
It's more like Hatterfolk has switched where Martin Kakari is playing more central. The second half pushing Boateng and Parku to the wide areas to double up.
Benjamin Asare comes up high on the pitch. Sends one looking for Hamza, stopped by Boazi. Parku. Amankwa. George Parku. It's a poor ball from Parku.
The idea was clear, but that is too heavy a touch. The pass Emmanuel Amankwa was never going to get onto that. They were disappointed. Twice he's made very good runs. And in both times, the passes to him have been very poor.
Foul on Chineboa by Emmanuel Amankwa.
Amankwa has really done a very good check on Chineboa this afternoon. He's had very little space to breathe.
Main reason he's failing to flourish in this game, Amankwa's alertness and keeping those close taps on him. Thais out for it. .10 second half action done so far. At 55 minutes, no goals in Legon. Another foul for the Phobians.
Mano Kwame, so making sure that this match is Boateng. It's a quick turn of pace there from Ransford Mensah. Clever touch, but there's hold of shots there. Reason why Kwame was punished against Henry Kweku Boateng.
Parku to Kakari. There's a foul against Henry Kweku Boateng for a deliberate push on Emmanuel Kwame.
That was quite a waste there. You could see the quick exchanges between the two before the free kick. Expected Kweku Boateng with his team on the offensive to remain focused on the ball rather than engaging in that tangling.
Iron whistles for a foul against Hatzabok when indeed Holy Stars were on the offensive and had the advantage.
Also, he felt there was a quick restart, but well, why did he stop the game? A little bit of confusion between himself and the assistant because the assistant could not see. Hey, then I felt if there was even an infringement, they were on the offensive.
Absolutely. Shocking decision. Here is Henry Boateng. Chance for Hazabok. Hamza. Awful. Awful from Hamza Issa.
He could have done better. Don't understand why he decided to go score. You can see the surprise on the face of Solomon Abasi himself.
Demonstrating how he should have played it.
Exactly, he's a striker. He could have gone the first time across the face of goal.
Second time in the game, he's drifting those balls to those tight angles, much to his own disadvantage.
When you do that, you go against the angle and it works against you. Cannot have a perfect effort. You can see from the bench, the players, the substitutes, showing a little bit of concern.
That's one thing who's been asked to warm up. Hopefully, he gets some minutes in this game. Here is Ali. Wayo beaten to it by Asante. Anywhere would do for Asante. He's having a fine game in this second half. Franz Asante. Gives away possession. Afrani to Mensah. Kakari. Again, misplaced pass by the Phobians.
By surprise, David Oponfrani making an excuse there, but clearly he could have done better. That delivery.
And Afrani has gone down with Opokwine calling on the medical team to attend to him. David Oponfrani.
This doesn't look too good. Injuries have troubled him quite some games this season. Shodi Dramani will be thinking, let's quickly make an alteration to my team. As Rafael and Theophilus Collison for the bench to step into that role, should he want any player to keep the midfield stronger.
Ty's delivery. SCB heads it down. Here is Paku. Lose out to Isa. The foul against Paku.
Experienced play there from Isa Yakubu.
Here is Sylvester Simba. Cheneboa makes the move. He's pacey and very tricky. Here is Cheneboa, but he just can't keep that one in. It's a goal kick.
He was caught in two minds. Expecting him to quickly send the ball, roll the ball back into the penalty area. But he spent too much time. By the time he raised his head, the ball had crossed the goal line.
Jetia for Okran. He's got Ali to contend with. Now Quayson caught napping on that occasion, but he's got possession again. Jetia, he's lost it out to Paku. That's deliberate. Opokwine waves play on right where you were standing.
The turn needs to be careful. He's already on a yellow card.
Kakari steers away from his marker. Here is Martin Kakari. Good drive forward. Hamza Isa, and flag is up against the Azabok striker.
Fortunately for Hamza Isa, he quickly needs to reach in between the lines. The run was too quick. He had already made steps. That was a good read of the situation there by goalkeeper Tai.
So Rafa Lamponsa, rightly predicted by Kelvin, comes in for Oponfrani, like for like.
Exactly, a lot more steel. But he has that edge to also make progressions when he wins possession better than Oponfrani does. And I think that is what the Phobians have also been missing.
Holy Stars respond to the changes by the Phobians, coming up with their own substitution. Right in the middle of the park is Isa Yakubu, who makes way for Kofi Hagan.
Exactly, he's out of sorts, he's tired. There's experience, and you could see the gap in that midfield. Hatofuk were just tearing away from him easily.
He's been playing in the Premier League over a decade, Isa Yakubu.
Exactly. When Didi won back-to-back Premier League titles with Asante Kotoko, he was an integral member of that team.
He was in his elements before he joined from Liberty, one of those top performers during his days at Liberty. Henry Boateng. Amponsan can't get back to Boateng. It's Okran. Puts 1-2 for Cheneboa, who goes ahead of Osei Esibe. Esibe fouls him, certainly a card. It will be interesting to see which color he will be flashing on the other box centre back. Badopoquine is yet to decide whether he's showing a card or not, but this is certainly a bookable offense.
It's clever and intelligent from the diminutive forward. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Got on to the ball in front of Esibe, and Esibe grabbed him. He was just tearing away from his mark, and we know his pace. There seemed to be some communication between the officials there on what decision to take, whether it's a yellow card or a red card. Esibe will be lucky.
It's a red.
That's a rightful call.
Last man preventing what could have been a goal scoring opportunity for Cheneboa, and he gets the matching of orders. Early shower for Kelvin Osei Esibe. He's off for that clumsy challenge on Cheneboa.
He failed to read the situation well. Got behind his man. Just when the ball was dropping, he realized Cheneboa was going to be the first man onto that ball. It's quite unfortunate. Cheneboa, who has had very little in the game, gets in to make a decisive moment in favor of his team. Look at that. Clever with his diminutive figure. Got in front of Esibe quicker.
But you're thinking Ali was arriving, so it was needless on Esibe's part to have kept on pulling him back, because Ali clearly has got the pace to chase Cheneboa down, but Esibe had to take the harsh decision and he's gone off.
Those are the elements in his game. Some moments he makes dreadful decisions that goes against his team. And he lost his focus and made another bad decision there.
Quayson will line up for this free kick. He steps back for Jetia, whose drive is blocked by Sylvester Simba, who was in an offside position.
It's quite a wasteful free kick delivered there by Holy Stars with the numbers. That's expected them to loop the ball into the penalty area instead of going for the drive. I'm not sure what Jetua was thinking to beat Benjamin Asare from that distance.
Hazabok have a numerical disadvantage. The big question is, can Holy Stars take advantage?
And Didi and his team seems to be unperturbed because they're still playing with 3 men at the back.
Now he needs to be careful what he intends to do with those substitutions coming up.
Well, Henry Kwakubuateng has drifted to the wide area on the right-hand side of the fence, and Amankwa stepping in central.
Here's Ali Mensah onto Boazi. Here's Atta, clears the ball away. Amponsan. Wayos offside.
Oluwayo hasn't really timed his runs well. It was quite surprising why he's found himself so many times in offside positions.
Timely header from Mensah. Oluwayo Gives the ball away, but he's lucky. The Phobians get a free kick after that challenge on Kakari.
It's quite a strong challenge there from Okran.
Timely from Tai.
Hasn't put a foot wrong, he seems very confident.
Okra onto that pass from Simba, swings in an early cross, and Amankwa steps up really well to prevent the ball from reaching Chuniboa.
Very good offensive work there from Emmanuel Amankwa, where the situation was had to slide in to make that quick interception. I think that was clever from Okran. He whipped the ball into the penalty area, as he knew Chuniboa was always going to make the run to that end. They quite understand themselves so well.
Here is Chuniboa. Paku. Tries to find Hamza with that pass, but Boazi will step up. Paku says he can't continue anymore, so Didi Dramani will be forced to tweak tactics and shuffle personnel on the pitch as well. But in the meantime, it is Duku and Kujo who are getting ready to step in.
So like why also going off, and that Bradrick would have to quickly come support with his pressing, and Gordon Kujo will now step back into the defense.
Gordon Kujo will step in, playing central defense.
But Ali, but then Amankwa gets back into his position. Raphael and Martin Kakari will have a responsibility on them in that midfield. With support from Henry Kwekubuate. Then they would have
Duku's first involvement, and there's a foul.
That was the stamp there, too high.
It's a late challenge on the Holy Stars centre back.
That was quite nasty there. He needs to be careful. He can come into the game ragged. With a high foot, he's lucky to go scot-free.
$70 minutes. 10-man Heartsabok 0. Holy Stars 0. Final cooling break. An opportunity for Didi Dramani and Johnson Smith to send out some instructions with some more 20 minutes to go.
Johnson Smith, very much experienced at this point, knows that the numerical advantage should come for his team. But Didi Dramani, as we know, and these situations would go extremely pragmatic. We've seen this before, just a couple of weeks ago at the Barara Sports Stadium, where he led his team with 10 men to beat Asante Kotoko by a goal to nil. And that game even lasted over 60 minutes, 65 minutes, with his team playing with 10 men. And at home, where they should feel more comfortable, I expect them to be able to weather the storm. It's a different opponent, an opponent that causes trouble against a manager who knows the league quite well and better than the manager he faced in Kumasi.
Dramani in full control here, taking advantage of the cooling break to send out some instructions to his 10-man Heartsabok side.
You can understand that the players telling them they should be communicating a lot more to make things easier for them.
And the Phobia and Tertiary have a hashtag that says the Ultras.
Well, hopefully they can match up to the Ultras we see.
Simba stayed onside, but the flag went up after a second look by the assistant referee.
And it was offside. Kwesi was trying to tell him not to step up. I decided to go in for that ball. It's quite close. But Benjamin Asari did his best, coming out to head that ball away.
Amankwa's throw. Kofi Hagen's clearance for Holy Stars. Here is Samponsa. Rafael Mensah with an effort from the distance. Not too powerful. Asante to Kwesi. Hazavok will take back possession. Here is Mensah. To Kakari in the middle. Back to Mensah. He's got space up front, but he needs to go past Jetua. Swings in across. Nobody is there for the Phobians, but that header by Emmanuel Kwame finds Kweku Boateng, who's giving it away.
It's quite a poor decision making there from Kweku Boateng. I don't know if it's tied. The number of decisions the second half hasn't been impressive. Sylvester Simba once again. A poor decision. Literally giving that ball away, expecting him to go simple.
Free kick for the Phobians.
The referee needs to quickly talk to the players before corner kick is executed.
Amankwa whips one in, and that's some timely header away.
It's a good read of the situation. But Francis Asante was never going to allow that. Boazi stepped in to make that quick clearance. Kujo and Ali were just waiting to latch onto that ball.
Opokran will calm down tempest before that corner is taken. Rafael and Ponsan's corner swings one to the far post. Kujo heads it down. Hamza with an overhead kick, and it goes wayward.
Was trying to get something special out of nowhere. Execution was poor. Like any bit of accuracy that could cause problems for Basake Holy Stars. Contrasted Hagan rushing on, forcing him to make very bad connection to that ball.
Good run by Amankwa, but doesn't get across right. But what was Sylvester Simba thinking? Surprised that he took the decision to kick the boy the manner in which he did it. He was aiming to kick it against Amankwa, I guess.
I don't know if that was the smartest decision. It's just giving a corner kick away easily.
Aimless.
That could cost his team.
He's not covered himself in glory with that clearance.
Looks like Duku and Arthur still having issues. The referee making the complaint.
Boateng's corner. Hazavok failing to make the most of this corner again after some poor defending by Holy Stars.
So quite the teasing one bounce right in front. Seems to have caught the arm of Duku before pulling down. Was he once again bouncing right in there? A good gather by Emmanuel Kwame to clear his lines.
Gold Stars are being pummeled. They are down by 3-0 in Winchie against Young Apostles. Mediama failing to take home advantage to extend their lead. Is 1-1 between them and Hallway. But here is Amponsan for the Phobians. Nope. Curtailed by the defense of Holy Stars. Asante Kotoko have Henriense red carded and they trail Karela 1-0 in Tamale. With Hearts of Lions hanging on to their first half goal against All Blacks in Pando. Eduana have stepped up. They were being held by Wonders, but they are 2-0 up at this point with less than 15 minutes to go.
Interesting results. There hasn't been quite, second round. Cool for Mediama SC. They've been dropping points quite easily. Quite surprised now, United giving them a difficult time at the TNA. But that's some results from Young Apostles thumping Gold Stars.
Gold Stars only beat Hazabok 2-1 last weekend. But they're getting nothing from that game in Winchie. Here is Duku. Gets the corner from that touch by Emmanuel Kwame.
Duku causing lots of problems for the opponents with his pressing. He's injected lots of energy in attack for the Phobians, causing trouble inside the penalty area, winning lots of set pieces. The Phobians could make any of these count.
Amponsan's corner, Aliyah rise, but it's fisted away by Tai, and that drive from Kakari just rising over the bar for a goal kick.
It's quite a very good drop there for Martin Kakari. Brilliant delivery there from Rafael Apota. Goalkeeper Tai came out, won it with that fist. Kakari, quite a decent strike, landing right onto the laces of his boots. But off target. He could be lucky next time.
Simba. Cheneboa. Quaison. Jetua. Cross in by Asante, nobody in green, and Amankwa will head it down for Asari. 80 minutes at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon. No goals. Hazabok are playing with a numerical disadvantage after Kelvin Osesibe was sent off for that clumsy tackle on Cheneboa.
So Phobians are doing their best. That with 10 men they can still create a lot more. They don't look like a side with a man down. Martin Kakari looks like playing from a more favorable role.
Watson's delivery aiming at Amankwa. Cuts back for Amponsan. Swings in across. Down by Atta. Cleared away by Simba. Only as far as Kujo for the Phobians. He gets to Amankwa down the right side. Amankwa has failed to control the ball rightly as Hazabok concedes a throw.
Those are the focus and concentration that you can see from Amankwa. Quite bit disappointed.
Jetia, Kofi Hagan, Sylvester Simba. Here is Emmanuel Kwame. Can't find Cheneboa with that pass stopped by Amankwana Kakari.
So the connective force for Holy Stars. Sylvester Simba seems to be a bit tired. Quayson seems to be out of sorts.
Here is Cheneboa, tries to play the 1-2 with Quayson, but Ali reached it really well.
Just when I was starting to question Quayson, tried to give a moment of brilliance, but Ali, right place at the right time. Make it an excellent interception. As much as Asofok will be looking for the 3 points, should be careful not to leave the area too open.
Surprisingly, Hatsabok have drawn 10 times this season. This will be the 11th draw if they don't find anything from this game after 90 minutes.
We've got that challenge that is quite woeful for a team who want to win the league. And a lot of them have been goalless draws.
Yeah, that's why they've got the best defense in the Premier League with less goals conceded than any other team. So confirmation of Sylvester Simba's substitution is off for Cosmos Mafo.
It's been long overdue. I think it was out of source after the 60th minute. When Artufok got the red card, he should have been substituted.
Kakari delivers. Ali with a chance for the Phobians. Can they get a goal? Nope, the flag is up. Decision in favor of Holy Stars, much to the displeasure of Agbasi, the reserve goalkeeper.
But I think Gordon, this is just a bit far away from Ali. Can't blame the referee too much. That was it. Once the ball bounced, he was in an offside position. That's a very good call. And you can see he understands the rest of the Phobian team probably kept their eyes off his positioning. He was offside.
Final 6 minutes will be very crucial for Didi Dramani. Looks on with the 10 men aiming to conjure some magic before the final whistle.
This is the moment you expect your team to keep the focus, not to lose any bit of concentration, and make sure that every minute counts, every minute is important. Tayi will know that his team needs to keep a bit of pressure off them. No credit to Atufok, even with 10 men, they still play. And the numbers are equal. That has been the strength of this team, keeping their shape, regardless the deficiency in numbers.
5 more minutes to go. Hatsabok drawing goalless with Holy Stars at the University of Ghana Stadium. If it ends this way, that will mean the Phobians have gone 4 games without a win.
That will be quite surprising for a team that nearly have come close to catching up on the leaders, Mediema, who have dropped lots of points in the last 5 weeks. It's quite unfortunate.
Has in taking advantage of the slips. Quayson, chance for Holy Stars. Can they score? Quayson again, Asari to the rescue of the Phobians. Brave goalkeeping by the Azabok shot stopper. He's injured himself in the process. That was a big chance for Quayson to have converted.
Look at that ball bounce right in front of him. Rankford was late, rode through the challenge, skid past Ali. Brave goalkeeping there. Benjamin Asari coming right out, making himself big. Quayson probably could have hit the ball the first time, but Benjamin Asari, letting his experience count that moment, showing clearly he is Ghana's #1 the safest pair of hands for Hearts of Oak.
Saved Hazavok on numerous occasions, and this was crucial, but Quayson knows he should have done better.
He's very much disappointed. He could see his gesture push after missing glorious opportunity. He failed to lift his head, raise his head. And by the time he raised his head, goalkeeper Benjamin Asari was already there.
The ultras from the Phobians would not mind how the game is panning out. They are still in some mood. Not too sure Asari will be exiting. Seeing Agbasi walking, making his way onto the bench. Kofi Hagen. Cheneboa. Hagen. Could just touch for a throw into Holy Stars.
There seems to be an urgency from Holy Stars. They know any bit of pressure on the Phobians, they will be able to get a goal, an ultimate match winner.
Mensah gives the ball away. Cosmos Marfo. Asante trying to pick out Jetia. Amponsan steps up really well for the Phobians, and they've conceded another throw.
Hearts of Oak seem to be on the back foot now in the final minutes of the game. They wouldn't want to concede this late. But Basake Holy Stars taking everything to them.
Foul on Mensah. Oh, United in the lead against Mediama in Takwa. 2-1.
It was quite surprising result. Raheem Tanko will be fuming. The kind of dip Mediama has faced in the last 6 games.
Maybe they are degassing.
Quite surprising.
They are degassing after that impressive start to the season, but you don't lose points in that manner if you really want to win the league. It got to a point they took a 9-point lead on the log.
They started off too brightly. Seem to be out of sorts. Quite surprising they have some of the best materials locally.
It's fair to say they've got the best assembled team in the Premier League this season. 5 additional minutes being confirmed by Abdul Latif Adawi, the 4th referee. We've done 90 already here in Legon. The Premier League will take a break for FA Cup games next weekend. And so the Phobians will next play against Hearts of Lions in Pando. Difficult terrain. Holy Stars will welcome Young Apostles. Cheneboa has come central, but he's lost possession. Here is Hamza Isa. Cosmos Marfo's delivery is feeble and is straight to Asari.
There's no way he beat Benjamin Asari from that position. Needs to be a bit more careful.
Kakari. Hazavok have lost possession again, and Quayson stepping up his game in this final minutes. He finds Okran, who has got Ali to beat. Ali is able to get a tackle on, but Quayson's effort takes a deflection and goes straight to Asari. Cosmos Marfo, chance for Holy Stars. Here is Okran. How did he miss this one? Indecision on the part of Okran.
Terrible finishing. That was quite surprising. Okran had every moment to take his time and find the target. It's quite surprising from that position. He failed to even hit the target. Holy Stars are just throwing all their chances into the bin.
Quason picks out Emmanuel Kwame. Jetua with the drive, but the flag is up. The ball was right in an offside position.
He's always been finding himself in offside position. Brilliant piece of play there from Holy Stars, but unfortunately they haven't made the dominant possession and numerical advantage count.
Esubontin is in for Hamza Isa. Didi Dramani has thrown in his final card. We see how he goes.
Look at that pass, brilliant in there. Quayson, first touch, letting him down. But why in the rush at that particular moment when he could have taken his time to find Cheneboa, who was waiting at far post for that ball? Chance wasted.
Eduana might leapfrog Hazavok to the third spot, with all these Stars staying on 11th, but they get 33 after a point from this game. But there's so much to play for in the final minutes of stoppage time, as another opportunity is flopped by the Phobians. There's a goal kick to Holy Stars.
Opportunity for Artefographo. Didi wanted something better from that moment. Emmanuel Lamonkwa feeding off. Rafael not too strong at the initial moment, wanted a corner kick for that.
Asare sends one in. Ali flicks it. Flag is up for offside against the Phobians. It was Inoke Subontin.
Because he's clearly not the happiest moment there from Didi Dramani, but I think it was quite close.
Very close.
Very close. The assistant referee might have missed it, but I think Ransford was onside there.
Opokwine has blasted his whistle for the end of the game, much to the disappointment of the Azawok fans who are yet to see their club win in their last 4 games. Another draw for the Phobians, making it 11 this season. And Didi Dramani very frustrated by the turn of events. Same for Ali Mohammed. They did all they could. They had a red card to Kelvin Osei, but that seems to have slowed them down a bit. Ali comes up with a man of the match performance, but certainly know what he'll be looking forward to. He wanted the maximum points, and Holy Stars have given themselves some good game here in Legon. They increased, the tempo in the second half. They had better possession comparing to the first half, with 48 against Azavok's 52, 4 shots on target each. Esibe gets a red card to put Azavok in a disadvantaged position. And again, Hazavok have disappointed in front of their fans. Full time at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. Hazavok nil, Basake Holy Stars nil.
Talented Kids is powered by Indomie, sponsored by Enapa Foods, Ayede Soko, Flora Tissues, quality tissues for everyone. Top Choco, it's chocolati.
Gino Jollof Mix, Gino truly cares.
Didi Shito,
Fratelli Calipo,
CTIW Foundation,